Hey everybody, I'm here. How are you? How are you doing? I hope that you're doing fantastic, amazing, just awesomely great because it's been a good day. It's been a good week. I'm loving life and I hope you are too. And today, what we're going to be talking about is the stories we tell ourselves and like why it matters. Why am I talking to you about our stories, right? Because we do all tell ourselves stories. We tell ourselves stories all the time. And half the time we don't even think about it. Hey, yay, I'm so glad you're catching me live. That's cool. How you doing? Woof woof. So yeah, we tell ourselves so many different stories that get in the way of what we want to do because our stories are what we believe about ourselves, right? We think, oh, it's just a story, but we literally believe the things we're saying about what we're telling ourselves. And so if the story we're telling ourselves is not a good one, it can be really hard, right? So sometimes we tell ourselves stories like, you know, I'm like really excited Michelle is catching me live. Like, woohoo, what a mind blower, right? And it's really cool. Michelle tells herself stories. She says she's a diva. And she redefines what diva means so that it makes sense. Because it's all about women that are inspired and recognize their divinity and are getting stuff done. That's a story that matters because it helps her be amazing. When you tell yourself good stories, it changes how you see yourself. But when you tell yourself crappy stories, right? When you tell yourself, yeah, exactly, that's the retelling of a story and it makes a huge difference. Exactly. Because you can see things all kinds of ways. So when you tell yourself good stories, right? It helps you. But a lot of times that's not what we're doing. A lot of times we're telling ourselves really crappy stories. Like we'll tell ourselves stories like, "Oh, I can't get anything done. I don't know how to do nothing. I'm just so stupid. I don't know. I don't even know why I exist." Now, that's that's a silly story. I love it. I love it. Yeah. Oh my God, that's so cool. Yes, that's so cool. And I don't even know your therapist, but yes, those stories align because that conversation aligns because you know what? The stories matter. When we're telling ourselves crappy stories, like the ones I was just talking about, we get crappy results. We tell ourselves, if it wasn't for bad luck, I wouldn't have any luck at all. Then we just keep perpetuating the bad luck. Whatever the stories are, that we're telling each other, that we're telling ourselves, those are the most important stories because we are telling it to ourselves. We hear it first and we believe that. So if you want to change your life, you got to change your story, right? And you got to change your story in the way you could believe. So when you say stuff like, oh, I'm so crappy at math, I can't figure out math to save my life, then you can't turn around and say, oh, I'm great at math. Because you know what? If you've been telling yourself your whole life how crappy you are, you're not going to believe you. And your mind's going to give you all kinds of proof about why that's a lie. And it's not going to change anything. But if you change your story to say, okay, math is really hard. It's really hard. But you know what? I, me, I'm smart. And I can learn hard things. I can learn how to do math. That changes the story, right? I used to think I knew math, and then I had teachers from third to what, sixth or seventh grade that told me no, I couldn't do math. because girls didn't do math when I was growing up. They just didn't. And I didn't know how to do math. And even though I knew how to add and subtract and I could count change and know what money I was supposed to get back when I gave the guy $1 at the store and all of those things, I didn't know math until I got in eighth grade. In eighth grade, Mr. Bronstein was my teacher. And Mr. Bronstein said everybody knew math. uh, when I changed that story, it changed everything because Mr. Bronstein, I believed him because he started showing me that I understood math. And he would pick on you and you would be like, I couldn't know the answer because I don't know math. And he would be like, of course you know the answer. Just guess. Tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what you're thinking. And I would know the answer. And I began to understand I knew math, right? So it's the same kind of thing. So Michelle is saying how much she hated cooking. That's the story she was telling herself. And then she realized how much she liked it because she changed her story. Changing your story matters because it helps you get to where you want to do. It helps you get to where you want to go, and it helps you do the things that you want to do. But only when you're willing to change the story, right? Only when you're willing to tell a story that helps you get where you want to go. So sometimes we have to stop thinking, how can I can't be this, I can't be this, and just look at what is the story we're telling ourselves that makes us believe we can't. Hey, friend, I'm so glad you're here. Happy to see you, as always. We're talking about the stories we tell ourselves. And whether we're telling ourselves crappy stories or whether we're telling ourselves great stories, it makes the results that happens in our lives. And that's why it matters. It matters because until you understand that part of the results you're getting is because of what you're telling yourself, you just keep reliving the same lie. You just keep getting the same results. At some point, you got to look at the conversation you're having with yourself because those are the most important conversations of the day. Those are the conversations that determine who you are because we are training, we are creating our mindset every single day. Every day that we wake up in our right mind and able to breathe, we're taking a breath, we're creating a new direction, we're creating a new story, we're creating a new way of moving forward with our lives, right? So you can change your life by changing your story. I used to tell myself I was an abomination, and I believed that. And because I believed that, I was invisible because feel I didn't feel that I was worth taking space up in the world. I didn't think I deserved that. And so I hid myself. When I realized, no, how could I be an abomination when God created me out of love? When I exist because God loves me, how can I be an abomination? I can't, right? And that changed my story. And it allowed me to step out. And it gave me the courage to begin to be seen. I had to change my story, and changing my story mattered. Changing your story matters because it's who you are. Who you tell yourself you are is who you are, right? The retelling of your story makes a huge difference. And so you have to be willing to retell your story. You have to be willing to retell your story to yourself first, because that is where it begins. When you believe it, you can get other people to believe it. It's a mindset thing. And that's why you need to work on your mindset all the time. And that's why I always invite people to come to my mastermind because what we do, we work on your mindset. We work on our mindsets together to help us get to where we want to. People in my group are changing their stories, and I want you to change your story so that it becomes the story you want to believe, because you already are who you want to be. You already know what you want to know. Now all you have to do is let it manifest out here. That's what I want to talk to you about today. I hope this conversation helps. And I'm really, really happy I got to say this stuff to you. And yeah, I hope you got something out of it. All right. That's all for today. I love you guys, and I'm really happy you're here. Whether you're watching this live or on the replay, I'm celebrating you. All right. Take care. Bye. Bye, everybody.